It takes a long time to raise money to make a film, but it's worth it because my first feature was very successful, and you feel even more growth when you do your second film. It's kind of like you can kind of foresee things before they happen. It makes you so much better to anticipate a lot of things that might occur so you can be prepared for them. When you're doing your first film, you don't know what's going to happen. You're just kind of going with the flow. But on your second feature, you have knowledge of foreseeing things before they happen, so it kind of saves time and everything else because you're much more prepared second time around.
You know my boy Daryl, right?
Yeah, I know Daryl. He's pretty cute. He's supposed to be like super smart too.
Then you are set at the top of the Wall Street chain.
It's called Changing the Game, and I always wanted to do something that kind of shows somebody coming out of the worst environment, but not letting the environment envelop them. Like in a lot of films, the person somehow tries to get out and never gets out. I wanted to show somebody actually getting out of that kind of tumultuous environment to be a success. That's why it's called Changing the Game, because I wanted to show like a more universal film. The casting is right down the middle. Black and white characters are equally important in my film, so it's a whole different era of filmmaking in my book. We're past the halfway point of the shoot, and as a director, you're always thinking ahead to the next shot. We've been on this corner all day, and we're going now next into a small fast food restaurant to shoot some interiors. So we're done with our exteriors for the day, which is great because you can't control crowd control on the street. We did the best we could. We still got a lot of great footage, even though we really couldn't control a lot of the ambiance of the street. We got more than enough footage to cover the scene that we needed. Now we go inside to get some interior stuff, then we're done for the day. Cast is great. Sean Riggs from Stomp the Yard, he's phenomenal. He's my lead actor. His best friend from North Philly, Dennis L.A. White, who's in Notorious, another fine actor. Irma P. Hall plays Sean Riggs' grandmother, outstanding, legendary actress. Sticky Fingers will be in town playing a key role. Legendary actor also Tony Todd from Candyman, Final Destination, General Juma from the show 24. He played the voice of the Fallen in the Transformers films. He's just a phenomenal actor. Also, Suzanne Douglas, who was in that show, The Parenthood. She was on that movie, How Stella Got Her Groove Back. It's just a great cast, man. Black, white, Asian characters. We cover all the palettes. It's going to be a great movie.
The ingenuity, the diligence, and how everybody's working on this project is amazing. It's phenomenal. When you have a project when everybody loves it and they have all common goal and the camaraderie is there, it's a great experience all the way around. It's memorable. And it shows when you see the finished project.
Rel is definitely a hands-on director, and he knows what he wants. And that's a lot of time in this industry, you meet people who don't. You know, it's kind of like flying off the seat of their pants.
Well, I grew up in Germantown, the same block as Bernard Hopkins. I just saw a lot of young men that didn't get out of their neighborhoods that had a lot of potential that could have been great. So I said, well, let's try to make a film where somebody actually does beat the odds to be successful and not let their environment swamp them up and become a statistic.
Yeah, I know Rel from way back when he was at Boston University. I shot his thesis project for him. It was a little short called Train Ride. I think he went on to make a feature out of that. So, I don't know, I've known him for like 15, 20 years. I don't know.
What's he like on the set?
Well, can I really say that on TV? No, he's great. He's got a vision, and he's outstanding, you know, in what he does with the actors. And one thing that's great about Rel is he's really into the collaboration, you know, amongst the various departments.
And we're settling. Go, Rel.
Action, Dennis. The biggest challenge is when you're trying to make a film that covers different time periods. We're covering 70s, 80s, 90s. Everything is affected. Costuming, wardrobe, makeup, that's the biggest challenge because usually independent movies stay in a certain era to keep things concise and under budget. But when you're trying to cross different eras of wardrobe and dress, hairstyles, it makes things a lot more convoluted, but it makes you a better filmmaker because that way you know you can make any kind of film that you want after you trying to be so ambitious.
This is an epic, which means that it goes from the beginning when they first meet in elementary school to when they are adults. So it goes from the year 1974, and takes you all the way to 2006.
I'm trying to make an epic movie on an independent budget because the film is about a young man that comes out of North Philadelphia in the 80s, the 8th and Butler area, which was the most notorious area of the whole city at that time. Goes on to Wall Street to be a great success. So we see him as a young kid, child prodigy, all the way through his life. So I'm really making an epic film on an independent budget. So one scene does involve an explosion, and that's what we're trying to kind of plan out now. When we're going to do this explosion, will it be a post situation? We do it in post-production, or can we pull it off as an actual gag somehow? So we're weighing both options, and we'll knock it out.
Sometimes you gotta stop playing the game and start changing it.
All right, this is Rel Dowdell, director of Changing the Game, my second feature film, and you're watching Real Black TV, numero uno.